Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ember BTC channel. Today's video will be a quick BTC market update. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So over the last couple of days or even couple of weeks, we've had some interesting price action. We outlined how crucial it is in the current zone that we find some sort of support. I thought maybe all hope had been lost when we had this red candle, as we had lost this key SNR zone for a couple of days, and we were anticipating that maybe there would be a bearish retest, and then between the range high and the range low there wasn't a whole lot of support until the 100k level. So we were potentially looking for longs at that 100k level, but actually since then we came back up and we flipped back onto this 110k level, which if I zoom out is the higher time frame range. So if I was to just draw a key SNR zone almost as such, you can see resistance, 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 and now we've come back down and we've found support within it. And I'll clean it up just for chart appearance. And you can see now that we have pushed up through our key SNR zone and we haven't got a bearish flip of it, which is good. And we've pushed up through this 112k level, which was also a major resistance given all of the major turning points in and around it. And if we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see we've almost got a bullish flip on it. We initially broke up through it, and then the naked point of control here acted as resistance. But now we've come back up and we've got this flip onto the 112k level with a push up, and now our next real resistance is at these relatively equal highs paired with this naked point of control overhead, and of course this major key SNR zone at 115k to 117k. So what's really interesting here now is that if we look at this and I clean up even a lot of the lower level stuff down here, and we just kind of clean the chart and even remove this naked point of control, and we say this is our range low and this is our range high, which is also simultaneously the all-time high, and we look at how order flow unfolded. We had a one-sided market where sellers were fully in control, very much lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You can see just standard bearish structure. And then we've got down and we even had a bearish retest in around our range lows, and we dropped down and we almost to some degree swept this low and even took out this short-term low here, and we started to push back up. And now if you look at structure, it seems like we've had a shift in momentum, so almost as if it's a curve, and we've reached our key confluence zone in around that 110 to 107k level, which is really just this previous consolidation. So again, really nice price action if you've watched our auction market theory, where price is constantly seeking fair value, and you have these long consolidations after an expansive move. So expansion, consolidation, expansion, consolidation, and then we try to expand here. We've come down and we're starting to find fair value in our previous consolidation, and price from there is starting to push up again. So this is in no way a call for new all-time highs per se, but I think the idea that I see a lot of people being like the top is in could be described as a little bit premature. Of course, if it turns out to be true, you look like a genius. So I understand why people do call for these things. But for me personally, until we lose this 100k level, which means, as we've outlined, I think in the BTC market update video last Tuesday, right now, if we were to go onto the higher time frames, it is higher high, higher low, and then these are our higher highs. But this could still be our our higher low. So for me personally, until we lose this 100k level with, I guess, clear intent, then you start to look at, okay, a structure like this looks really, really poor, and maybe, the top is in. I know if this does happen, it will be, of course, too late, because the markets will have lost tremendous value in a leg like this. But I think given that alts like Solana at the moment are still having quite strong runs, I think the money is still in the market, and market participants are still willing to place bets on alts now, and we are starting to see more of a rotation of capital. First example in this leg was ETH, that made a new all-time high, I believe, in this segmentation of price action on BTC. And now on this leg up, you're starting to see Solana start to really make a run. And what we want to see now is, how do the markets react if BTC is to get a push up, which would mean that maybe the crypto market as a whole will get a next leg. Example, ETH has just in reality wicked its all-time high. It never really got into price discovery, and it really only tapped the surface. So you want to see is if BTC is able to start putting in some bullish structure like this, and make our way from range low, deviation of range extreme, and then look to make a new all-time high and deviate above this range high. Now, for me personally, we are very much still in a trouble zone, and we could lose this quite easily because there still is resistance. This is range lows, but as key SNR zones go, it still very much is a region. As such, we've kind of flipped the range lows, but we still might find resistance in here. So really what we want to see is us push above these relative equal highs, because these relative equal highs could act as a potential reversal point. If we were to push above, sweep the stacked liquidity above, and then drop down, of course that would be quite bearish. But if we're able to push above and then flip, I guess, this resistance level, and then push up to the key SNR zone, and then of course this then becomes the key zone. Similar to this scenario, we wanted to see, can we flip onto it before we really start looking for bullish scenarios across the market. Similar case here, there might be some nice trade opportunities, but if we're able to flip this key SNR zone, all of a sudden alts will really look to run if we do get a final leg or push towards all-time highs. So to simplify things before I wrap up today's market update video, what we want to see is one of two scenarios in the short term. So if these are our relatively equal highs, do we push up and reject, or are we able to push up and reclaim this range low key SNR zone, which you can see for the reason being support, support, resistance, resistance. So we want to see, can it become support again to fuel the next leg up to bridge the gap between this level and our key SNR zone. So before we wrap up today's video, I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of the channel, Bybit. If you sign up using the link in the description, you can receive up to $600 in bonuses. I know I didn't do the altcoin market update last week as I fell ill, but I will be doing it this week, so please feel free to leave suggestions in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.